The Born to Win podcast highlights individuals excelling at high levels in their purpose and calling. This podcast is for anyone looking to get ahead in life and willing to take action and reach their full potential. Using C.H.A.M.P.S male mentoring model of the 3 E's, education, empowerment, and exposure, it means you too are born to win.
I'm born to win, live. The Champs from Chicago be screaming all that. You are now tuned in to the Born to Win podcast. Champion. Yup, Champs. The Champs from Chicago be all in. Champs. I'm born to win.
What's up, everybody? We are back and we're live at the Born to Win podcast. I'm Vondale Singleton, your host, and I'm super excited about my brother that's about to come in and drop jewels, gems, knowledge, whatever toots your horn, because this brother, to me, is a walking philosopher. I mean, I don't even know how to put it into words. Every time I'm around this brother right here, and it's not too many people I say this about, so don't think I just say this. This brother leaves me in a place where I have to dig deep to get better. Everything that he shares is so practical, but yet it's so powerful, it's so precise, and it's so exact. He's one of the realest brothers I know. He's one of the most genuine brothers I know. He's one of the most loving and compassionate brothers I know. You probably know him as Rhymefest. This brother's a philanthropist, a songwriter, author,
a father, an actor, a multi-Grammy award winner.
And he is a world traveler. Some of the stories that he tells about some of the places he's been will absolutely blow your mind.
He'll be able to come back. I've traveled the world more than 5 times and still live in Chatham. You know what I'm saying? So it gives me a perspective that is unique to people who never leave the box.
Yeah. Yeah.
So because I have a view of other kinds of boxes.
Right.
You know? And I think the secret to overcoming, man, or being successful in life is how far are you willing to go in the experience of it.
Ooh, hold on. I got to pause. Hey, everybody, listen. I told you this brother right here. I hope you have something to write with. I don't want this to just be a listening podcast. I want this to be a podcast of application, that once you're done digesting these words, you're able to apply them. And Rhymefest, he has a unique, I remember he came to one of our C.H.A.M.P.S classes, and you probably remember this. You start asking all the young men, what is your gift?
Yeah.
What is your gift? No, tell me what your gift is. That sounds like a talent, or that sounds like something you like to do, but what is your gift?
What is your gift? It's not a talent.
Where did that come from? Like, where did that come from?
Because I realized, man, hey, once we know our gifts, Vondale, we can begin to piece together our purpose. And I remember I asked you about your gift, you know, and you are using your gift and your purpose right now. Even if you're not in the school, class is in session right now, you know, and you expect, you know, the young people who you love and mentor and teach to be learning. You look at you, pull out your notepads, take this down. These are life lessons. These are love lessons. Your gift is that of a teacher,
yes, sir.
of a leader. Leadership is your gift. And you can take that gift of leadership and apply it to teaching, running an organization, rebuilding a community, anything you like as a career or a talent or a skill, but you need that gift that you got, that leadership gift, to even do it. So it's kind of like, you know, your gift helps you to begin to piece together a purpose. And so I ask people, your gift could be athletics, you know, so get better at that. It takes athletics is a part of the mind that not everyone can think with to be able to read plays and strategies and move gracefully through something. And you find most athletes are good at multiple sports, but they just chose to play one. You know what I'm saying? You know, someone may be good. You take Prince. He, with his gift, I don't have a gift for music. I have a gift for perspective, which helps me write music. So Prince had a gift for music. So he played 27 instruments and could sing and could write, and because his entire gift encompassed that. So it's important, even if you don't know what your gift is now, don't give up on yourself. It's important to find your gift, to find your purpose, to walk through life, to have the best experience possible.
Man, whoa.
No?
I'm just up here cheesing. So I got to go back to something real quick. You talked about Dr. Donda West. For those of us who don't know who she is, I mean, in Chicago, obviously we know who she is, but we have listeners all across the world that are watching. But can you kind of talk about who she was to you, and even your relationship with Kanye and just how that all came about?
Well, you know, I met Kanye when we were teenagers. I was like 14. We were like 14, 15. We met. And, you know, he always was doing music, doing beats. And the way he looked at it was he wanted to rap, but no one liked his raps. They thought he was going nowhere as a rapper. And so he said, I'm going to do beats for rappers and get rappers all around me. And when they rapping on my beats, I'm going to rap too. And that's how I'm going to get in as a rapper. He started off wanting to be a rapper. And because no one would listen to him as a rapper, he had to make beats to get in and do what he really wanted to do. I mean, that is such a lesson in how to think outside of the box. It is brilliant. You know what I'm saying? Brilliance is always in the simplicity of how to make something happen that wasn't going to happen. And you know, Kanye and I met because he wanted me to rap over his beats. And we started doing it. We had a little click. You know, he introduced me to GLC, to Mickey. We were all together, you know. And but the one thing, if you dealt with Kanye, you had to go to his house. You had to meet his mom, Dr. Donda West, who was the dean of the English department at Chicago State University, a Fulbright scholar, an expert in Russian poetry, spoke various languages, and loved teaching. And Kanye introduced everyone to his mom. And instead of going to the studio, she set the studio up in the house. And he played her all of the music, even though she didn't understand hip hop or whatever. He played his mom all the music. They had a very close relationship. And as she listened to the music, she talked to us about it. What are you saying? Why are you saying that? What does that mean to you? She mothered us like she mothered him. She trained us. She loved us. She did for us what you do for those young people at C.H.A.M.P.S mentoring. It's the reason I'm so attracted to you as a brother, because I know that spirit. I was raised by that spirit that you got. And so, you know, the way I lift her, and we teach people with her pedagogy. And shout out to Dr. Gerard McClendon, who wrote the book Donda's Rules. Please go get the book Donda's Rules. It'll tell you all about Dr. Donda West and the way she taught and her strategies. But look how we carry that on. When you tell me about your mentor, you know, after your father that mentored you, that was your Dr. Donda West. Yeah. We are someone else's teachers. We will teach others to teach others. That's how we heal the world, bro.
Yes. That's
Teaching
teachers to teach. That's what my mentor used to always say. He said, you know, we have to be able to teach teachers to teach. That's how we can actually impart our gift to others. And that's how it will never die, when we are able to pass it on. Freely we have, freely we give, right?
Yes.
Let me ask you a question though, man. So did you understand?
You know what somebody told me real quick?
Yeah.
Somebody told me, if you're going to be good at it though, you have to be knowledgeable enough to be a teacher and wise enough to be a student. We got to keep learning, bro.
That's right.
And know that we don't know nothing and be okay with that.
Absolutely. 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 But I do have a question to ask. So at that age, when you were introduced, Kanye introduced you to his mom, did you really understand what she was doing at the time? Or did it take you years later to understand, wow, she really taught some lessons that I'm starting to get later on in my life? Or right away, did you kind of catch on to what she was saying? And
well, that's what we call planting seeds, and good teachers do both, right? Good teachers can give you sunshine, rain, plant seeds, things that bloom later. I'm still catching on to some of the things that she was saying, so but I think with young people, it's the feeling. I knew she was loving me. I knew she wasn't telling me nothing that she thought was wrong or misleading to me. So I knew that her word was more trustworthy than somebody else who was just trying to, use me for something. She wasn't trying to use me. She was trying to grow me.
yeah.
I saw the love between her and her son. I wanted that in my life, that type of love. So I listened to her. And that's why I think true teaching has to come with a modicum of love. Like love, for real love. You got to love them kids. Because how many kids go to public school, may have a good teacher, but they ain't got no love for them and don't learn nothing? I think as a teacher or mentor, one of the biggest mistakes I made was giving some of the kids too many things for free without working for them because of what I believe love and family was.
Okay.
Like, just give it to them. Just come on, let's. And then I learned that the more as teachers we have to create incentives, and the more we give without incentive, like without it being merit or the incentive based, the more for granted things are taken. And we're not really teaching well about how to earn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I had to learn how to teach how to earn.
Yeah, that's good. Oh, you just said something. Hold on. Let me just jump in here on this, man. I was talking to someone, I can't remember who, just recently, and they said, we feel like in a lot of ways we've hindered this generation because we've raised a bunch of individuals who feel entitled. And so when you just said that, the incentive piece, I think is a very, very powerful tool, if not overused. And I've seen it being overused in a way where it's not an incentive at all. It's a crutch, right? And so was there an experience that you had that kind of like made you think like, you know what, we're doing too many things for them and it's really not helping them?
Well, I can remember, we used to take a lot of our young people, how we went to Sunday service. We take young people to concerts and stuff like that. And I remember there was a time where I was like, yo, everyone has to be at the bus at this time or we are leaving. And then you get kids call up, because we did it all the time. And they call up and say, well, we'll just meet you at the venue. We'll have somebody drop us off because we running late and this, that, and the third. And I said, no, we have to be uniform and together. And if you're not on the bus and if you're not there, you can't do it, And we leave, and you leave certain people because they didn't show up. They thought it was a game. And then the program is the worst program in the world. It's you the worst, such and such and such and such. And because there was a expectation, because we let it slide so many times before. It's kind of like if somebody doing you wrong and you let them do you wrong so much, or let them get used to something, and you say, okay, this has to stop, then you the problem.
Yeah.
Because you let it go. You what do you mean? You did this. So when you stop doing it, that was supposed to come with it. Like, we would give young people money and per diem and take them out of town for free and stuff like that. And then the moment you say, okay, we got to raise funds, we don't have funds for this, this, and this, it's your fault. because we're used to doing it. You know what I'm saying? And so I look back and say, man, if I would have taught them how to sell tickets, if I would have taught them, I mean, and this is my accountability as a teacher. If I would have taught them how, okay, we can only go on this trip or that trip when we do so much XYZ and you earn your spot there. At that point, you're going to want to show up for the bus on time. You're not going to be lax about it. At that point, when you get that trip and you get to go to Made in America, Jay-Z's concert or whatever, you're so grateful for everything you had to go through to be there that you're going to you'll cherish the experience more. So I think that because we had so much at one time and gave everything that we had, the experience of what was happening wasn't cherished in the present.
Wow. Yeah.
Only in the after, when they look back, they'll say, oh man, that was this, and this. But I didn't teach in the best way I could in the moment because I didn't make them earn it.
Yeah, that's really, really powerful. I do have a thought in my mind.
Please.
You were in a movie called The Public.
Yes.
And we were privileged, and thank you so much for that wonderful invite.
Yes.
Yeah, we were privileged and honored to be able to join you here in Chicago to watch that movie. And by the way, you did an excellent job. I thought that was like number 100 movie you played in, man. You were really, really powerful. First movie and knocked it out, a grand slam. What was that process like being behind the camera? And I believe you did the music as well. Yeah.
It was one of the funnest experiences I ever had, man. Let me tell you about when you're doing something you love to do, you'll know it because it won't be a job. You won't get tired. I mean, you may get tired, you may get exhausted, but it won't be a thing for you. You can't wait to wake up to go back. Filming, doing that film, just being around just beautiful people like Michael Williams, Jeffrey Wright, Gabrielle Union, Emilio Estevez, Michael K. Williams. It was incredible because I was around dope people. I was working every day. The structure and the order of how it would go is already laid out. All you got to do is know your lines and know how to move within the world that you're encompassing as an actor or as a character. But just overall doing something I love to do every day.
Yeah.
To the point where it wasn't a job. You're getting paid good. You're not, tripping or stressing out about nothing. And then being able to see you yourself become a whole nother entity based on how you developed the character in your mind. It let me know so much. It informed me, acting in a movie informed me so much about the power of our mind to create a scenario where we can be someone totally different.
Yeah.
Why would that stop at a movie? Like, I haven't done a movie since then. I really believe that I did that film, The Public, for myself to learn how to put my mind in a different place, depending on what the situation is. How to put a perspective on it and not be stuck in the identity of who I think I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, I learned to take on another identity. And I think in this time of COVID, bro, of coronavirus, we're going to all learn that we need to figure out different ways to be other than the way we were. So I believe that movie was one of the things that prepared me for now to be so agile in the way that I'm looking at life.
Yeah. And so what was the process? Did you believe like being an artist and, a writer kind of help you kind of pick up the acting part a little bit better? Did you kind of use some of your prior experiences to kind of help you?
Yeah, because rapping is acting.
Yeah.
rapping is acting. I don't care what nobody say, how real they are, whatever. You got to convey what you're saying to a mass audience. So you got to have swag, what they call swag. That's acting. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't got swag 24 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? No matter what somebody say. So it's like, that was part of the preparation, performing on stage. You know what I'm saying? Like prepared me for acting and being a good listener.
Yeah.
Really, you can do anything if you can listen.
Yeah.
Like you're a good listener.
A great, and I think like the empathetic part, because that's what I get from you. I watch how you listen to people, how your body language show that you're in tune to what they're saying.
Yeah.
And then you ask a deep question to make people think about what they just said. But then it's also for clarity and understanding. Like you talked about being clear. I think it's really important being clear, being concise, right? Being reasonable.
How have you worked on clarity? I mean, because you're working with young people, so you got to be as clear as possible, because some of them will try to take your message and twist it. Like,
yes.
You said, woo, 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 like, you know what I'm saying? So tell me what your strategy is around being clear as a man.
So being unclear and learning that I was unclear, you have a lesson that you plan and it fails right in front of your face. So you take that feedback and you learn from it and you say, oh, I wasn't clear here. They didn't understand here. They didn't understand here. That was on me. So I think it starts with the responsibility with oneself, knowing oneself and being able to have the humility to say, you know what, the reason why it's not clear out there is because I wasn't clear here and I have to fix that. I have to correct that. So it's just monitoring, just kind of like the output and the result part. So if I say, hey, I need for you to follow step 1, step 2, and step 3, and 60-70% of who I'm giving this content to, they don't follow or come through, that's a reflection on me.
Say we're going to grow something. I remember, man, I like these candles on my dresser, and I've always lit these candles on my dresser. And one day, I was sitting down in the TV room, and I lit the candles, and my girlfriend said, "Hey, that candle doesn't look like it's burning right." And I said, "No, it's good. It's good. I always like those candles. That's how they burn." And she said, and she kept looking at the candle, and because she kept looking at it, I said, let me just get up and go check the candle. And the whole back of the candle, it burned. It was getting ready to burn the wall up, burn down the dresser. And I said, man, I'm glad I didn't let my ego lead that situation. And I'm glad I was able to listen well enough to go check it out and see her concern and deal with her concern, even if I was unconcerned. Right. And it saved us all. And so it taught me about how to work together, like being able to deal with each other's concern and take each other's concern seriously. And I think sometimes that's what we miss, especially as a relationship. You say you 17 years in. Once you get that far in, everything becomes so normalized, we lose concern with you know what I'm saying?
Yep. And that's why you have to really work at being an empathetic listener and being in these moments, right? And I have to be really conscious of that, because my wife is an administrator. She's a principal of a school. So our conversations can go heavy into school at home. So keeping that that work-life balance really separate, that's something that we knew going into, like, okay, I'm an education major, you're an education major, we getting married, and our road kind of started. She was a teacher and she kind of worked her way. So for 17 years, this is all we know. But I believe that we have done a phenomenal job not to make our home life about work life, right? Mm-hmm. It's to really be crystal clear. Like my wife, she'll go and I'll listen to her, but then I'll have to say, you know what? I don't want to hear about work. I want to hear about you. How are you doing? What's going on? And she'll stop.
And that slows everything down.
It slows everything down, right?
Yeah.
And then it centers us on what we have in relationship together, right?
You know, bro, magically, you know what that is? That is your ability to control time. You just control time. Things were going in one direction real fast, and you became aware, you stopped it, and then you redirected it, and you made it like flow. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
And I think that type of thing right there, that's what we need in de-escalation. That's what we need in critical thinking. That's what we need, bro. Think about this. Now that them do like somebody that robbed someone that hurt someone, if they could have just took another 10 seconds. It's so many people in jail right now, like, yo, I wasn't even gonna go over there that day. Oh my God, what was I thinking? If you would have just gave yourself 10 seconds before making any decision or saying something you couldn't take back. And that's why what I'm doing is whenever I feel away, whenever I feel like, I always slow time down.
That's good.
To give myself an extra 10 seconds before I even respond. And it might make you look slow, but I'm telling you, it's effective. It makes you look wise.
Woo! And it has saved many, 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 many years of potential frustration.
Trauma.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Trauma comes from quick reactions. And in this society, we were taught you got to react quick. You got to have your head on swivel. You in the hood, hey, bro, you got to woo, 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 like cause a reaction. Like when really, man, I believe wisdom is about slowing time down. Really being powerful and controlling your destiny is about not letting the day push you around.
That is so good, man. That is so practical. And it's so good. Like if we are able, what they call slow thinking, able to slow our thinking down to try to make the best rational decision in that particular moment, right?
You might just walk away.
You might just walk away. Speaking of walk away, Jesus walks.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Tell us the story of I know you talked a little bit earlier about meeting Kanye, but what was different about him? And tell us the story of how you guys sat down and your vision with Jesus walks.
Everything is a process. Everything is a collaboration. Nothing great happens on your own. And I think that sometimes people believe I can do this by myself. You cannot do anything great by yourself. And so, a buddy of mine at the job I was working at the time gave me a tape. He said, this is a good song on here. You should hear it. And it was a gospel choir, a Harlem gospel choir, and they were recovering drug addicts. And they were singing that song, Jesus Walks With Me. And I've never really been into gospel music, but that song just welled me up. And my buddy who gave me the tape said, back when we were doing tapes, he said, you should get somebody to make a beat out of that. That'd be a good rap song. And I gave it to Kanye. Kanye was working on his album for College Dropout with Rockefeller at the time. It was his first album. Nobody knew how he would do or how it would do. All we knew is that he made great beats. So I gave it to Kanye. He called me up, said, hey, man, I'm going to play you this beat, but I need this to be on my album. You can help me write it, but I got to have this song, man. You can't have this song. And the theory was I got a record deal. Out of all of our friends, I'm the one that's like, and this is where it comes to humility. Do you say, no, man, I need to rap on that, man. That's I got to get a piece of that, bro. Like, or do you be like, yes, that makes sense. You know what I mean? That what we were just talking about, how we come to a consensus on what the best route is, you know? And yeah, okay. But you can help me write it. So when we start writing Jesus Walks, I'll never forget how I was writing like Bible verses and quoting, you know, Jesus's words in Corinthians. And Kanye said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "That's not how you tell a Jesus story. Talk about sin, talk about hardship, talk about what, you know, car full of coke, rental truck from Avis. You know what I'm saying? Like, talk about what people going through, and then let the chorus be the savior. Let the chorus, Jesus is already in the song. Jesus walks with me. Jesus is already the salvation. The chorus is the salvation. The lyrics are the struggle. You know what I'm saying? To the hustlers, killers, murderers, drug dealers, even the strippers. Jesus walks with them. To the people on welfare that's living in hell here and hell yeah. Jesus walks with them. Like, you know what I mean? So let the melody be Jesus. Jesus is the sweet song.
Yeah.
The struggle is how we get to him. And that's how we wrote it. And when you do it in that kind of spirit, the song just took 2 days to write. Just like Glory. When we figured out, like with me, Common, John Legend, with Glory, first thing me and Common did was get on the phone and pray and say, in the name of Michael Brown and in the name of Fannie Lou Hamer and in the name of Medgar Evers and Dr. King, please allow us to tell the rest of your story. Please allow us to pivot into what you would see the future being. Thank you, ancestors, for your experience so we can write this song. Please, Marvin Gaye, give us the words to write a song of love. And man, 2 hours later, the song was written.
Wow.
Open yourself up. Any kind of creativity, man, just open yourself up to be a portal. That's it.
Open yourself up to be a portal. The power of creativity flows when you're on one accord. And it was no ego or pride there, even when Kanye was saying, hey, what are you doing? Why are you writing about Corinthians right now? Let's talk about like the real Jesus, right?
Yeah, and what Jesus really is.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, this, hey, man, and the thing about it is, I noticed that with artists too. You know, I was, there was a local author that I called recently that writes children's books, and I read their book, and I had issues with the book, and I called the author and said, you know, for a children's book, this could be better, but I'm not gonna critique it. I could give it to my book club, and my book club is like a couple of different people, and you'll get a couple of different opinions on this particular book. And would you like me to give it to them? And they said, yes, please. And text me back 30 minutes later and said, no, don't do it. I don't want any feedback.
Oh.
And it taught me something about feedback. You know, just because someone says they don't like an idea or likes, you know, a suggestion you may give, it doesn't mean they don't like you. It's not a critique on you as a person. You know, we have to be open to people telling us that could be better. I think one of the biggest things our children are missing right now is constructive critique. That's why they can't get better in their gift. But I think, you know, social media has helped us make a lot of bubbles around ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can go get the news you want. Adults do it too. You can go get the news you want. If you want to only watch Fox, you can watch Fox. If you, okay, we think like this. If you only want to watch MSNBC, okay, we think like this. And, you know, there's words like hater. Don't be no hater.
Yeah.
And hater, the word hater kind of allow people to do whatever they wanted without repercussions or nothing being said, because you hating on me because I'm getting money, no matter how I make the money. If I'm a scammer or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Don't hate on me. You know what I'm saying? So I think that we've lost a bit of being able to hold each other accountable, because there's so many avenues for people who don't want to be accountable to escape. It's a lot of escapism through things that create anxiety and depression. Accountability helps us to avoid anxiety and depression. And we haven't put that together yet. We wonder why we feel the way we feel, but it's because we keep running.
Wow. That's something that I need for everybody to just go ahead and just write down this question. What's hindering me from reaching the next level of greatness? What's hindering me from reaching the next level of greatness? Because right now, everybody's becoming a version 2.0 of themselves. That could be good or bad. And I believe like when we come out, we should be the better version of ourselves, because I don't think life will be lived the same way that it has been lived before the COVID-19.
We got to be vigilant, careful, and we cannot afford to not be kind to one another.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
We must be kind to one another. It's so much, man. So many people stressed out. You know, the other day I'm coming out of a parking lot. Somebody backs up and hits my car. And with everything that's going on, I could see how somebody in a car accident could be an explosive situation.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? And I had to stop and get at 10 seconds and realize that, wait, I got car insurance. It's okay. This don't even matter. All right, ma'am, it's all good. Don't worry about it. I see it. Go ahead. Take a picture of your license plate. Keep it moving.
Wow. And what was that response? How did the other person receive that response?
Well, it was a kind of older lady, and she was real embarrassed and scared. I just realized everybody's a little stressed out right now. You know what I'm saying? A little stressed.
Yeah.
But I do see people driving fast, running lights. I see reckless behavior out here. You know what I mean? Like more than usual.
Okay.
And we have to slow down enough to let other people pass us up.
Yeah.
And I'm learning like how to be more aware of my surroundings than I was, and be extra, like you said, how you extra aware in your career and in your house, to listen, to be real sensitive, to slow down, to just how you approach things. I'm learning how to do that everywhere. Because I think that we're going to need that in this world we coming into.
Yes. Yes, sir. Absolutely. I think the patience piece is really real. When we talk about patience as a virtue, and a virtue is something that's not common, right? It's not just like laid out, everybody has it. And so if you're the one that slowed down and let somebody go ahead of you, you're practicing something that most people wouldn't necessarily practice in that particular moment. But what if we all adopted a similar mindset?
We'd have a better community.
Mm.
We have a more unified community. We'd have more understanding with one another. We'd have, and we adopted that mindset, we'd be able to hear each other and help each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would make a better community.
Yes, sir. So I got one question that I've been asking everybody that's been on the podcast. Like, if you had a billboard, billions and billions of people will read it, what words would you write on that billboard, and tell us why?
Man, that's a big question. What statement would you write on a billboard that went everywhere? Perhaps I have a saying, and my saying is, the only true power is the power to empower others.
The only true power is the power to empower others.
That's the only power that really exists. Because, and I say that because that's how people don't understand. That's how you gain power, by giving it away. Like, you don't gain power by hoarding anything. You don't gain anything valuable by not giving. Because through giving is the experiences that teach us how to grow. And I pray to be a giver, bro. I pray every day when I wake up, I say, please allow me today to be a giver. You know what I'm saying? And through that, man, I've established so many relationships around the world that bring more to me to give more. And so for me, no matter what anybody says about anything, like my peace has come from being a giver.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But perhaps that's just because that's part of my purpose. Like you, like the more you give, the better your students do. Have you noticed the more your life improves?
Absolutely. No questions about it.
Hey, Dallas. So yeah, the only true power is the power to empower others. If we all worked on empowering others, the human race would be working together.
Wow. And I think at this particular point in time, this brother can he can write a novel through his words. He has a pen of a ready writer. And I really appreciate, man, just your spirit, bro. You just a good dude, man.
We pray, bro. We pray. Hey, do you? So I'm almost done with my book and album, Love Lessons. Can we come back and do this and talk about the book?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. When you're talking about wrapping it.
The book is going to be published in August, so it'll be in the fall. You know what I'm saying?
And maybe we do this in person.
I would love to do this in person.
Yeah.
By then, you'd be a trusted source that you doing the right things. You know what I mean? Because, I was thinking about that. They may not have a cure for this for a year and a half, 2 years. What does that mean? I mean, we have to begin. How do we open our bubble up? Because my thing is this, as I open up, if I know you are just going in willy-nilly, going to the beach, you just going to parties, house parties, as much as I love you, you can't be in my bubble because I got a pre-existing condition called diabetes and I can't let you kill me.
Exactly.
So, you know what I'm saying? We got to, bro, I don't have a haircut because I'm like, I don't know where else my barber been. And I just grow natural. You know what I'm saying? Just grow it all out and see where it go. We have to really be diligent. Like we have to be really critical about how we choose to interact with one another now. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I see you going and play, you ain't wearing no mask, you can't come over here and chill with me. Look, I'm going to see Kanye soon. In order to go around Kanye, you must take a coronavirus test. You cannot enter his bubble unless you go get a coronavirus test. So I had to go get a coronavirus test to even get an airplane ticket to see him. And so we know his status. That is what people are doing to say you could be in my bubble. Have you been tested?
Yes, sir. And it's an accountability measure too, man, because it's so many people that we're impacting. And that's why I was telling the young people, because at first they was like, yeah, it's no big deal, right, Singleton? I'm like, well, it's so new. We were still in school kind of having these conversations leading up to the closure. But a lot of them really wasn't taking it seriously. And, they was just like, yeah, this really don't affect. But then it started to impact their families, their cousins, and it's not having an age now. It's all kinds of different people in the age, and it's really hitting our communities hard.
We at war.
We are at war.
We had a real war. And there's people out here because they can't see it, don't take the war serious.
Absolutely. We are at war. And that's what the doctors described that was on the first podcast. These were the exact words. We are at a war right now. And he said, I've never seen anything like this in all my studying. He said it's like this invisible war that even us doctors are just like, because it's mutating into other things and manifesting in ways that is different for everybody. It's not like we got a corner on it and we can attack this thing. So, man, we have to live wisely. We have to live consciously, and we have to live for others.
Yeah, and but it gives us an opportunity to refocus on health, and what is health? Mental, spiritual, and physical. I take my walks every day. I do push-ups every day. I'm gonna show you something. I read my spiritual book every day. You know what I'm saying? And I just believe that this is the time for us to come together with our health and the healthy, because health is going to be the new racism.
Love it.
You're going to be discriminated against based on your health in this new world. So I just believe that, we have to continue working on our health. The community shouldn't accept unhealthy foods in our neighborhood. Bro, when I go to the South Loop, I can get vegan, vegetarian, I can get different types of options. In our neighborhood, we proliferated with Popeyes and KFC. So my thing is, if you're going to have a multi-million dollar organization like KFC or Popeyes, should they be able to occupy communities unless there's a significant give back from each franchise?
We allowing this to happen in our communities. We should be more forceful in saying, hey, this is the standard that we have in our community. And if you can't meet that standard, then you're not allowed to be a part of this
of the community. Like a lot of times we want to start different things when it's already started. There are people that do food justice. We have to get with the people that do food justice if that's what we're interested in and say, hey, this is an idea. If I can help, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we can work on this together. You know what I mean? And I think that's the beginning of how we do that. I just there's anything that we think that we want to do, there's someone who's doing it, and it's our job to collaborate with them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Boom. So leave us some last words, bro. I know you moving and grooving. It's a beautiful day here in Chicago. We love our city. But man, you have any final words you want to share?
Love is the key. Love is the key to everything, but understand that with the key of love comes heartbreak, and it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Because in that is growth and even more love. We got to stop running from struggle and hold ourselves accountable. I love how whether it was as a teacher at school or as a husband at home, you say, hey, man, that ends with me. That's me right there. I'm accountable for that. You know what I'm saying? And that is the answer. We have to begin to answer to ourselves for all of our relationships. I look at everything that goes wrong is my fault. Because if it ain't my fault, I can't do nothing about it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to do something about anything in your life, don't lay down and continue to be victimized. Get up. Hold yourself accountable for your own life and take your life into your own hands and love yourself, and love is the key.
Love is the key. What a perfect way of ending. The beginning and ending is love, and love is the key. And so, man, I just want to thank you, brother, for joining me, man. I always, like I said, leave your presence, and I feel like I have to be better. And that's just because of the impartation that you put into the environment and into me. So I thank you for your time, man, and I appreciate you. And anytime you want to get back on in August, let's go ahead and do it, and hopefully it'll be in person.
I learned so much from you. Thank you so much, brother.
Blessings, bro.
Thank you for listening to the Born to Win podcast. Would you consider making a donation to C.H.A.M.P.S? We are looking to provide senior class care packages and other essential items like food, hygiene, and toiletries for the families of our C.H.A.M.P.S mentees. You can donate via Cash App at $CHAMPS Mentoring or PayPal at paypal.me/C.H.A.M.P.S Mentoring. Or you can always visit our webpage, champsmentoring.com, and click on the donate button. Thank you. C.H.A.M.P.S, all in, C.H.A.M.P.S, all in, C.H.A.M.P.S, all in. Every setback is a setup for greatness. Every failure is a ladder towards greatness. Every goal is applied towards my greatness. Every life experience enhances my greatness. Every task perfects my greatness. The divine guides my greatness. I am greatness in the making. C.H.A.M.P.S.